What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy TraderPrad, and we are live. It is 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time out here in Toronto, Canada, and we are living life. We are enjoying the day. I'm a little tired, I'll be honest. You guys can probably feel it in my voice, feel it in my energy a little bit. Right after work or right after trading. Went to the gym. I actually had to stay back a little bit. I had to stay back a little bit for a little bit of a class was in session. So class was in session with the OG traders. They were teaching us how they look at the charts and so on. Learned a little bit from there. From there, went to the gym. Did some cardio, some time in the sauna. As you guys know, I love my sauna sessions. And ran home as soon as I can. Basically, didn't physically run, but got here as soon as I could. Basically, with the I guess 20 minutes before going live. So still a little bit tired, still a little bit exhausted, but they're not gonna stop us from going live and doing what we love to do, which is talk to the chat, look at the markets, look for the opportunities that are there tomorrow that we can possibly take advantage of. Talk about our trades that we did on the day today, and prepare basically every single night as we do, and enjoy while we do it, right? We love what we do it, and we're gonna enjoy what we do. I see people in the chat saying, "What's up, Kitchener, Ontario?" Up in here. Ooh, I like it. Kitchener, Ontario is in the chat. Number 8, TH always in the chat, never failing. Dan Duval and Dieter, love seeing the family showing up. Hope you guys had a great day so far and an even better night. And hopefully I can help you make that night slightly, even 1% better. So let's talk about the market. You are here for that reason. Markets ended red. QQQ ended down about 1% if I remember correctly. SPYs also flushing to the downside. Pretty red day on the overall market. We had the Apple event. We'll go through the Apple event later on. We'll see what new items were released, what all they talked about. I was watching it for a little bit and then I got bored of the Apple event. It was putting me to sleep, honestly. So I just took it off, started trading the market instead, and then woke back up. So that was good. What else happened on the day today? I think it was pretty boring, honestly. Nothing really too exciting. Apple gave you a couple trades, a couple other stocks gave you other trades too. Oracle was very active, but sadly that was my negative stock on the day. But we ended green. We'll talk about all of our trades. So why don't we start off with that? We'll go to the full screen over here, show you guys all of our trades to start off the day with. First off, Meta platforms. I don't know if you guys remember, a couple streams ago we were absolutely annoyed with how poorly we've been trading Meta, but today we smacked Meta to the long side to begin the day with. If you were looking at Meta right around yesterday's low, META, right around yesterday's low, there was some buying coming in around that bottom. So right off the open with some buying coming in on Meta, I was able to keep my risk tight. I waited for the bottom to get breaking first and then start consolidating a little bit higher than that bottom. We start consolidating slightly higher, I guess 20 cents higher than 301.10. So that's my stop right there. Tight stop, 20 cent stop for a bigger move. Once we start breaking out to the higher side, I actually add to my position, and then I see the stock stalling out a little bit, not really giving you that pumps to the north side as it was earlier on in these candles. The candles bodies are smaller and smaller, so I'm wondering, maybe it doesn't really have that much power and oomph to get past this 50 period EMA that I have on the chart. So I take my first profits over there, waiting to see if we get more profit opportunities on it, and then I do later on take more profits on it to the higher end over here. Beautiful trade nevertheless. Meta platforms allowing us to add to that trade, almost like we're evolving now, man. We've never traded like this. Honestly, today's trades were insane for me. So I feel like we're evolving. We're getting to that point where we want to be as a trader, and you can see that happening over here too. Usually you'll see me trying to get long somewhere on this move to the downside, get stopped out, and then complain about how we got stopped out. But instead we let the moves happen, we let people get burnt out, and then we're jumping in. We're now playing the right side of the weave. We're also waiting for the back side of the trades to open up. So pretty happy with my trades today, especially on Meta over here. Later on in the day too, we don't fight this range over here at all. We let the stock to pull back to the higher end of the ranges. We wait for exhaustion should really show itself around this 303.60 area. Multiple rejections. Stock's not able to go above 303.60, and tape reading a little bit coming into play. So taking my fill with my stop above 303.60, willing to take a trade again at VWAP if this one gets stopped out and ends up being a pretty good trade. I mean, look at that move. Sadly, we did not have all of our size, very small size over here. Should have added on the trade probably instead of getting out. Where I got out possibly could have been an ad spot, or even a little bit earlier when this area was breaking and we were just getting below the EMAs. But I figured covering by the EMAs was a pretty good spot for me. The risk to reward never is always what I'm looking at, and if I'm looking at the risk to reward, it's more than 3R, more than 6R, I think. So that's what I care about. As long as I'm getting my 3R wins and I'm able to get that more than 60% of the time, the statistics show that when you are getting more than 60% of the win rate and you are trading 3R trades or 3R potential winners, you are going to be way more than profitable. Not just making money, you're going to be in the blue zone where most of the winning percentage of traders are. Obviously, if you're getting 3R, it's pretty hard for people to aim for those higher end of winning percentages, but it's not ridiculously hard either. So meta over there, pretty clean. Where do my notes go? Pretty clean trade to the long and the short side today for ourselves. Good evening, Prad. John Mansours, you're actually in the live chat today. Yay, what's up, man? Yeah, I always see your comments. I see your comments saying, you're always catching my streams later on. I think I just bumped into the mic over here. I apologize if I ruined anyone's headphones or eardrums. Yeah, no, I always catch your comments saying, hey, you're watching my streams. I appreciate it. It means a lot to me. But welcome to the live stream. Finally here, you were able to make it to the late show. Welcome to the late show with your host, Prad Letterman. You guys see the thumbnails? These thumbnails are absolute hot fire. Come on, you know it. All right, let's get back to the market over here real quick. Talk about my trades today. Look at that. Waiting for the right side of the trade. Letting the stops getting burnt out. SPY was basically flat on the day around this time of the day. The Apple event was also happening. And then I see the market starts pushing down. So I build into a tiny little short. Waiting for probably adding. I want to add more on the higher end of these ranges with my stop over here at the high. That never really happens, so I have to now move my entry on the breakdown over here, keeping the same stop. However, breakdown on this move over here, adding. Never have to worry about my stop. I'm on the right side of the V. Previous Prad, the old Prad, the Trader TV Prad would have, gone burnt on this move already to the upside. But now I'm a different Prad, baby. I'm a whole new Prad. I'm the Trader Prad that Trader Prad wants to be. So here we go, catching the right side of the move, right side of the direction, right side of the V, having a lot of patience for this trade, and boom, all the way to the downside. Beautiful exits over here. Don't really think I could have added. I could have added over here on this breakdown again, but I do like my exits, also exiting under the EMAs to the downside. So SPY giving us a nice little short along with the Apple move at the end of the day. Apple, however, the only trade I did have on it was a long. If you were pulling up Apple on the longer time frame, you will see how important this 176 area has been previously. One double top coming into play. We got a couple more tops over here at 176.15, 176 area. So looking at the chart previously on the day, right around here, I figure, hey, we're pretty close to 176.15/176. I'm going to start building into a long, trying to lean off of that 176 area, and if 176 breaks, then I'll walk away from that trade. Thankfully, did not have to do that, did not have to walk away from it. Added on the breakout of this range also to get into more size, but the stock doesn't really move the way I wanted to. It keeps getting rejected from this 177. We push up to 177, push back down. We push up to 177, we push back down. I noticed that weakness showing up right around here, so I say I'm out. I'm taking my profits. I'm not going to keep gambling with this position. Doesn't make any damn sense at all. So I take my profits and I'm out of it. Pretty good trade. I mean, I missed out short at the end of the day though, and it does manage to break that 176 later on in the day right here off that Wonderlust event. Sadly, market did not like the fact that Apple iPhones now have USB-C. I guess that was the catalyst, but no, at the end of the day, Apple getting smacked pretty hard even after a pretty good event, in my opinion. Pretty damn boring event too. Blind Jedi's in the chat. What's up, Blind? How you doing? We also got Sky Elrog. Hi, Pratt. Thanks for the show. Thanks for coming by. I appreciate the love, appreciate the support. The lighting is so much better. You can change the light anytime you want. Just do the commands. You can do exclamation mark blue, exclamation mark police, whatever you want. You can change the light to whatever you want, Sky. What are you saying damn for, Blind? Timothy saying LLA rangy, good moves though. I barely traded. I mean, that's fine. Being cash is a position. Being cash is 100% a position. And if your opportunities don't line up, there's no reason to put money on the table. 100% fine with that. Let's talk about my next trade over here, which actually happens to be my first trade of the day, Intel. Intel pushing towards that 52-week high area yesterday. We were planning for this trade. If you guys remember last night's stream, I even have the notes ready right over here. So Intel 38.90 to $39 right there. Intel 38.80 to $39. This 52-week high area coming into play. We bumped right into that 52-week high yesterday. So today we were looking for that trade off that level. As the stock does manage to push into that level, I see some selling coming in front of 39. So I figure, hey, I'll go short with the stop and then an order to flip long. So I'm short. I get stopped out and then it pushes back down. I could have flipped long over here. I guess the way the stock was trading under 39, I didn't really like it. And I was, being a little hesitant. But instead of punching back into the short, I'm just waiting now to flip long. So here comes the second trade. Enter, add to the trade. We're now out all the way to the upside, all the way up to $40. So monster winner on that 39 breakout, which was 52-week high. So now the new 52-week high happens to be around 40.50, which we pretty much caught the move up to. Caught the move up to 40.50, then right around the re-entry of 40 as it shakes out traders. We are getting into a short and getting shaken out ourselves. And later on, we do catch the move on the re-entry of whatever level that was. Yeah, that was the 40 area. So we do cast the short back to the 40. Could have added over here. Instead, I take my out. That was yuck. So I take it out over there, take it out in front of VWAP because I think Intel's going to be ridiculously strong on the day. Sadly, I was wrong. It pushes down. Over here, I make a couple mistakes, which is not giving the stock enough risk. I don't want to give it up to $39 because I'm a cheap bastard. I'm a cheap bastard. I don't want to give the stock up to $39, and that actually makes me miss out a nice little long over here and another long later on in the day when it actually does drop to 39 and then immediately pops off of 39 and runs back to VWAP. So I missed that long and missed this long. Poor trading over here later on. Did not manage my risk accordingly, and I got punished for it. But good trading throughout the day on Intel to start off. Next one is a buyout stock. We'll move on from that. Here comes the losers on the day, RTX. We also planned for this stock, but remember when I kept saying the old Prad and the new Prad? This is where you see a little bit of the glimpse of the old Prad. The old Prad, well, not really. I did wait for the right side of the move. You see how the stock is actually pushing up. And I did have patience and I did wait for the right side of the move. The problem with this stock over here was I did not give it enough risk again. I should have given the risk of all the way down here. I could have, had my orders down here also instead of chasing the entry all the way up here. I said, hey, it's okay. If the stock goes, it'll really start going. So I'm okay with chasing this entry, giving it a little bit of a wider risk. But sadly, I was not okay with it. I did not give it that wider risk. It stops me out and it's a poor stop because look at where it stops instead of actually pushing to the low of day and then rips to the upside. So bad exit, bad entry, and not a, I guess it is a plus setup at the end of the day, because I have taken the setups multiple times over here. You see me trading this over here too on Meta, so it is a plus setup. It's just I didn't manage it properly. How can we improve on it? You know, be a little bit more patient for the entry. If the entry doesn't happen, it's fine. You should be okay with missing out on the trade. Not like you would not have gotten the trade back again later on. You would have gotten it over here. You could have gotten it over here. So multiple times to get back into the trade if you really love the idea so much. And the idea was basically RTX engines are getting recalled. They recently made a 52-week low, a brand new 52-week low, and then another 52-week low coming into play off of that catalyst. So we were expecting some sort of SSR bounce coming into play, because the stock was down more than 10% yesterday. So a little bit of an SSR bounce, looking for that play around the 74 even dollar area. Was a little bit too hasty and chased the entry all the way up to the 74.10, and the stop over here near 73.80 was the right play. Got punished for it. You learn, you live and you learn. You know, couple mistakes over there, couple hand burns. This is right here the example of old Prad that I wanted to get to. The old Prad example coming in. I did kind of wait for the re-entry of 180, but technically that's not 180. Look where the stock is. That is 170, right? So if we just zoom in and no, not that way. Zoom in and can I? No. How do I go? Oh, I can just. Oh, there we go. We can just scroll. So as you guys can see right there, 170. So I'm not even waiting for 180, which actually is the high of this candle. It's the high of that same 1 minute candle that I'm entering on. Just because it pings 180 and goes down, it doesn't show me the stops that are getting burnt. I'm not waiting for the backside of this 180 area, which is actually yesterday's high. So a little bit of impatience comes into the CGC trade for myself, looking for that 180 rejection, instead of, you know, just being patient and waiting for the backside, letting the stops getting burnt out. I mean, yeah, it does go up to $1.92, but that back through short, back from burning out the stops and trapping the longs, the back through short over here is what gives you that move right back to the downside. Because now as the big money traders are piling back into this trade short, everyone who previously had their stops over here, they got burnt, and then anyone who punched long and you know, especially if they're a bad trader, after they punch long over here, they'll be bag holding the stock all the way up to VWAP or even these EMAs, at which point they'll cross over to the bids or you know, whatever it is, to get out of their position, giving you that extra oomph, that extra juice for that trade to really flush even more. Because those longs who are bag holding and dreaming and hoping for their day trade to come back to life for them, it's not gonna happen. So that back entry is the perfect area to short. That 180 re-entry stopped out fine. I should have been able to get back into this trade. I think I was a little bit distracted with other positions on board, Intel and so on. Should have actually been you know, willing to get back into this position to the downside. Missed out on it, but good idea nevertheless, right? Right idea, poor execution, and impatience gets an absolute zero on the record. Absolute zero on the record. Last but not least, we have Oracle. I mean, I'm okay with taking this long over here. My manager did say, though, this long over here was a little bit stupid, because we saw that the stock was getting rejected by this 112, 111 area. So taking this long over here was stupid. You should have actually gone short. This long was fine, but it should have been here instead of here. This was, again, the old Prad mistakes, you know, catching a falling knife, not having the right amount of patience, just looking for an SSR bounce because I'm looking for an SSR bounce. So that getting burnt over here is fine. Getting burnt over here, getting burnt over here is fine as long as I'm willing to get back into the trade. But getting burnt over here is not fine. Even though I did not get burnt, I actually made a quick 10 cents on that trade. So getting burnt over here is not fine, and getting into the position over there is also not fine. I got to improve on it. Could have added at the lower end of these ranges. Could have added at the lower end of these ranges with my risk down over here, and added on the break out of this position, and then you have your exits all the way up here, at which point I would not even gambled with the shorts over here, which I also lose on. So 3 losing trades on Oracle. A lot of impatience on the first 2 longs. I think the third trade over here is not bad. If you ask me, it's not bad. But here's where this third trade actually goes to or comes under the scale of being a mistake, which is, I'm too focused on the intraday VWAP. The intraday VWAP rejection doesn't actually come into play, but what does the stock actually reject off of? If you were to go to the earnings day VWAP and just put in, what is it? From there, the earnings move VWAP and go to the 5-minute. That's not that's not what I'm looking for. Let's zoom out a little bit. So this is the earnings move. Let's put the VWAP from the earnings move. It's each candle 1 minute. No, it's 15 minutes. Let's go to the 1 minute chart. Please don't lag on me. Okay, thank you. So let's go to the 1 minute chart here. Zoom out a little bit. Close that. Pull this to the side. Hello, charts, please. Earnings was in after hours, so somewhere over here, and I want to put it after the so let's put it after over here from 406. Come on, why are you doing this to me? Why is my computer slow as shit today? Not sure why. The point I'm trying to get to anyways is if you were to plot the VWAP from the earnings move, which is actually, I think this one has an automatic one. Now I remember this one has an automatic one. Does it have an automatic one? Oh, it does not. I should ask our friend Michael Noss. They have a year-to-date one. They have a IPO, large gap. They don't have a one for earnings. That's pretty surprising to me. But the overall idea is, once again, chat, if you were to plot the anchored VWAP from the earnings move, the stock actually rejects the earnings VWAP, which is pretty important, right? The stock had earnings yesterday. It rejected, it moves, the earnings move is so important because everything that the stock is moving off of today is off of that earnings move. So if you plot the anchored VWAP from that move, you see that it's actually rejecting from that point instead of today's VWAP or whatever VWAP that the normally charts show. So pretty important over there. Learning to use more different time scales of VWAP, year-to-date VWAP, VWAP from a big gap, VWAP from a whole week ago, VWAP from earnings move. So still learning to add VWAP. You guys have seen me try to incorporate this from my days at Trader TV or my last few days at Trader TV. Shout out to the book from Brian Shannon, the anchored VWAP book. Still have to finish reading that one. Have to actually buy a copy. Do you guys want to buy a copy for me so I can read it and teach it to you? Why don't we do that? Let's start a sub fund or a donation fund for the anchored VWAP book. Anyways, here is the end of all my trades today. End of all my trades. Those were actually the way I traded today. Pretty solid trades. I mean, if I can just trade every single day like that, life would be amazing, wouldn't it, chat? Life would be absolutely amazing. The stocks that I want to talk about today, sadly, there's not too many stocks that are actually moving around. The earnings movers are not really there. We had Oracle and Casey's yesterday. Casey's bringing in only 900,000 shares on the day today. No real move in the stock. Oracle was more important to take a look at. Tomorrow we do have Cracker Barrel in the morning, and these are the stocks that had earnings after hours today. No big stocks coming in after hours. No big stocks coming in after hours tomorrow either. But Thursday we do have Adobe, so that's something to take a look out for in the near future. But today, sadly, the watch list is tight. The watch list is small, which I guess gives us more time to take a look at the same few stocks that we have been for the last few days or so, see how they move, see if we can find trades off of these stocks again, as these stocks are still very much in play. Those Teslas, your Rivians, your NIOs. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't have NIO or XPEV on here, so we'll put those on there. Run through the list of stocks, find those levels again, find those trades again, see where the interesting levels are for us to make some money tomorrow. So why don't we start with Oracle? Oracle closing the gap finally after making that earnings move. So that was the earnings gap, and the next earnings stock sadly pushes all the way back to that earnings gap. So you expect some buying to show up at this moment. Even these levels coming right back into play. Am I magneted? Oh, I'm not magneted. I was looking for that magnet tool. There we go. Even these levels coming right back into play, this 107.60 area. So looking pretty important for, buyers to come back, especially even the stock going down 13% on the day. I would expect buyers to show up tomorrow somewhere around this 107, 109, 110 area, giving us some little bit of a bounce opportunity to get long on. But I wouldn't be surprised with another day short, because clearly the market did not like the earnings report. They had a slight miss on revenue, but everything on the other side, they guided better. Their numbers on all their separate portfolios, like their cloud, AI, blah, 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 everything was up and up. So I'm not sure why the market hated Oracle's numbers so much that they just plummeted today by 13%. Keep in mind though, the stock did push up to all-time highs again, right? The stock was once again at all-time highs, 52-week highs, all-time highs, you name it, and that earnings number, complete sell-off. I guess you could say profit taking. A lot of profit taking coming in on Oracle, and now we look for those buying actions and buyers to come back into play. Obviously, we just showed you the possible trade around this anchored VWAP. If we were to actually go back over here, delete these anchored VWAPs, remove. No, the volume's gone too. We didn't want to do the volume one. Damn it. Okay, we'll just add the volume back later on. It's okay. But if we were to go here and put this one on the 5-minute real quick. Why is my computer so slow today? This is not TradingView. This is just my computer. I think I might have to update some stuff over here. Update firmware and stuff, but don't blame TradingView for this. This is just my POS computer today, just being really slow, really annoying. So I guess I can't show you anchored VWAP. What I'm trying to do is throw in an anchored VWAP from this all-time high / 52-week high, and throw in an anchored VWAP from this gap, the previous earnings gap up that we've made, to see if there's any possible buying coming in around these areas for the stock. So if anchored VWAP from this area, or even anchored VWAP from the year-to-date lows, or the 52-week lows, not year-to-date lows, right? From the 52-week lows, kind of aligns up with these areas over here near 100, 104, 107, then those are the possible dip areas that I'd be considering on this position. Also, let's plot in a nice little trend line, because it looks like the stock has been making a couple trends that it's been looking to hold. So this is the trend that we're looking right now. It might just be looking to hold up on these trend lines over here. We are obviously looking from all the way of October last year. The next point comes in of March this year, and now the next point connected finally is in September of this year. So a little bit of a monster move on Oracle. I mean, monster move on almost any tech stock generally, and AI catalyst for Oracle also came into play. Tomorrow's stock, looking for long. I won't be surprised by shorts, but I'm generally will be looking for long. Any buying action coming in around this 107.50 or even around these lows of 104. Let me just put that line over there. Low of 104. Looking for a nice little buying action so we can get long and enjoy those relief rallies on this position. So let me just put over there 104 / 107.5 / and then yeah, we have that 110 area, 110, 111 area, that gap closed, so we'll watch that area too. So we have pretty decent price levels over here to look for the dips, and if you want to short it, obviously you can short it at any of these levels, and you can short it at the higher range of these levels too. If the stock does pop, make sure obviously you're putting proper risk management, you're reading the tape around these levels to make sure that the stock actually is showing some rejections of these levels instead of some buying coming in and taking your shorts out. So you got to be very careful on that side. Cracker Barrel, not really too interested in even talking about this one. I think the volume is very low. Cracker CBRL. Volume is very low on the average. Today's volume is 700,000. Tomorrow, maybe in the pre-market, brings in a little bit extra like extra volume for this position. But hey, who trades this? It's at a 52-week low, though. It's at a nice little 52-week low. Maybe there's a possible trade on this position. I'm just going to throw some quick little lines for myself in case volume does pull in and the stock does make some leaps and bounds to the north side or some absolute cracks to the downside. We want to be able to be ready for it. Be ready for it and not get caught off guard. So let's just throw some lines over here at some interesting areas that the stock could possibly move to if earnings are good, and move to if earnings are bad. Yikes, what's that, the COVID low? Yeah, it is. Okay, we're not that far away from the COVID lows on this stock, looks like. Not that far away from COVID lows on the stock at the moment, so look for possible even bigger moves to the downside or some relief rallies to come in. Mr. Ben coming in, Platinum Prad. Hey yo, what it do, homie? It's your boy Platinum Prizzy out here, your #1 risk management trader. Shut down multiple companies and on my way to shut down the next one. No, I'm joking. Don't fire me. If you're watching me, my boss, I'm not trying to shut down your company. And I've not worked at any company that got shut down before. Actually, that's also a lie. Recently, ladies and gentlemen, recently, a company that I used to work for, I can say its name now, NanoPay. Where is this? Look at this shit. Ready? Look at this shit. You guys see that? QA team lead. Read it and weep, haters. Read it and weep. That's right. A team lead. A manager of people. Okay? I don't know what the hell I was doing in this job. I didn't deserve this job. I don't know what the hell I was doing in this job. But, you know, transforming the way the world moves money. Who wrote this? Who the hell wrote this? Transforming the way the world moves money. I think there's an extra "the" in there. It should be transforming the way world moves money. Why is it transforming the way the world moves money? Anyways, let me get back on track. This company recently got completely bankrupt. I mean, it makes sense. When I was working for them, they had nothing for me to test. QA meaning quality assurance. I'm a software tester, and they had nothing for me to test for half my employment. I'm just sitting there, you know, faking my employment, faking my job. Meaning that, you know, you're pretending to actually be doing work, but you're not doing anything because there was nothing to do. And eventually, if you're not making software, being a software company, you're gonna go bankrupt. So I guess I did work for one company so far that did go under, but it was not because I was their risk manager. That was their own fault. Okay, that was their own fault. Now, getting back to the market, getting back to the stocks on hand today. Lily's grandma. Hi, Lily's grandma, and you're right. Make sure to respond to your mom's text messages. Hit that like, hit that subscribe if you haven't already. About 30% of you are not subscribed. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, come on. Cracker Barrel, we are prepared for the stock if earnings do come out and gives us some volume. I didn't find anything really too exciting really moving in the after hours with a lot of volume. Here's your after hour movers. The biggest stock was RCKT with only 800,000 shares in the after hours. Some sort of a public offering of a common stock, so they popped up 25%. Couple earnings plays that dropped to the downside. Earnings plays that dropped to the downside on a very low volume, so I kind of ignoring these ones over here too. So sadly no real volume stocks that I found out in the after hours, but I did find, however, two ETFs apparently moved around quite a bit with a lot of volume. They didn't really move around a lot, but they brought in quite a bit of a volume in the after hours, and it's actually XLF, the banking sector, and FXI, which is a Chinese large cap ETF. So apparently, something going on over here. I think the Chinese large cap ETF has been, a little bit in play recently. We've seen Pinduoduo go up to that 52-week high. Is it still there? Pinduoduo is still playing with this 100 area. I'm gonna have to put this bad boy on the watch list. So why don't we map some levels for this one over here since we're already here? Pinduoduo obviously playing with that $100 again, but we could just give us some trades around this 106, 104. So we got to set some alerts. Be ready to watch for this 100/106 50 106 100 comma 106 dash 106-106.50, and the way we want to put this one too is comma and comma, because these are complete different levels, not a range that we're looking at. And the level over here is 100 level, and the downside you do have that 93 also being held up, so we'll put that 93 level to the downside. Nice little support showing up around this area that the stock has shown support previously, so possible dip by longs over there, possible breakout of that area to the downside, possible breakout of the 100 area to the upside, possible reject of that 100 for the shorts to the downside, and possible reject of this 104 to 106 area to the downside, or a possible break of this 104 106 area to the upside. See how easy it is when you just map out levels, and all you have to do is keep your eyes open on the level 2 on the time of sales and see if big traders are rejecting the stock or if they're buying up the stock, and you just follow it. Like it's that easy, guys. It's markets that easy. Okay. Pinduoduo, I do like this one around the levels it's at. Since we're already on this Chinese train, choo choo, mother trucker. So let's keep on going with it. Let's see some other stocks over here. XPEP is around couple levels that we can kind of be interested. The only level I'm really interested around is this 20. So I'll put this 20 down over here. Any levels to the downside that we might be interested in? Maybe this 18. So I'll put the 18 in front of 20 because that's how math works. So we'll put an 18, but realistically it's the 17 area that's way more important than that 18. So 1750 to 17 area is a little bit more important than 18. So but you know what, I'm just interested in 20 now that I'm even looking at how unimportant that 18 is. I'm not interested in that 18 at all. More important in the you know what, no, that 18 is pretty important. Triple top, quadruple top, and once again top, bottom yesterday. Did I say top? Bottoms, and bottom yesterday and almost the bottom today too. So I guess that 18 is pretty important. I'm just not able to make up my mind over here. Always when in doubt, zoom out, and that helped me get make my mind up. NIO has been an absolute range recently. That 11 rejection has been non-stop. It was 11.50 for a little bit, 11.30 to 11.50, but now it's that $11 area. So as easy as it is, just look out for that $11 price. You can also look out for this $10 price for a possible bounce if you're interested. But NIO has been pretty much dealing with negative catalysts, poor deliveries, negative earnings report. So if you are interested in any trade, it should be to the downside in my opinion. So looking for that 11 rejection one more time. If it comes into play, even close to 11 will be good enough for us to get into that short attempt, risking off that 11 on NIO. But you want to be patient, always patient. Wait for the backside. Just because we're saying 11 doesn't mean you start getting short over here. Wait for the backside, wait for the exhaustion to show up, and then get short. Okay. NanoPay still on web. Couldn't find mention of it going bankrupt. Founded by Lawrence Cook. That's right. NanoPay. Wow, it's No, I'm just doxing myself. No. No, they did go under here. Let me show you. Let me get the document for you. I'm probably not supposed to have this document, but I do. I got connections. Let me open this document for us. So look at this. Okay. Creditor package. What the hell's a creditor package? What the hell's a creditor package? I don't even know what a creditor's package is. I guess a package for the creditors or to the creditors. These guys are the official trustee for NanoPay. Where is that part of the paper that I saw where how much money that these guys owe in unpaid amounts? Like NanoPay owes like ridiculous amounts of money for, yeah, like look at this. Wee woo, police. FBI, open up. Let me open the couple screenshots that were. How do I open this in tab? You know what? I'll just do this. So look at this. Compiled 2020 financial statement, 2021 and 2023, whatever. Incurred net losses of approximately 5.2 million, 5.4 million, and 6.3 million respectively. Total losses of 16.9 million fiscal year. Had a total debt of $35.8 million. Total of 44.6 million in 2022 alone. Company is a startup. Cash for operations from obviously loans and investors and so on. Let me open up this picture for you. Come on. Owed the landlord $2.4 million in unpaid rent. 2 private lenders $1.3 million. 4 trade creditors $170,000. EHT, not sure what that is. 15 former employees, $181,000. Approximately $80,000 relates to wages and vacations pays. Approximately $30,000 are employee preferred claims and so on. So, yeah, there's that. There is that. Down goes NanoPay. Down goes NanoPay. Pratt Hell here with the insider knowledge. No, it's not insider knowledge. It's just, I got connections. And that company, it was poorly managed. We know another company that's poorly managed. It was poorly managed and it went under. That's all it is. Hopefully the other company that we know that's very poorly managed doesn't go under just because we have a couple friends working there. All right. NIO. Yeah, I think that level that we talked about, 11, blah, 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 is pretty much the levels that we're interested in. Let's quickly go scrounge BABA for some possible levels. These Chinese stocks. BABA, pretty interesting. Look at that level. That 86.50 stands right out as a sore thumb. BABA, 86.50 right in your eyes. Multiple times has this level come into play. You can even look for the 84 level to come into play if anything. And these multiple days we've been kind of struggling around this $90 price, I guess. Look at the high today, 86.96. So 90 must be on watch tomorrow on BABA. Baidu is a little bit of a more spready position, spready stock. I'm not really too interested in trading this one. Very low volume. Today's relative volume is on the lower side too on the stock, so we can just move on from it, go to the next one on our watch list, which is Qualcomm. Qualcomm recently had a good catalyst, positive catalyst. They're going to be providing Apple with chips going forward for 5G or something, if I remember correctly. So helping them out with their phones over there. Recently today, Apple had an iPhone event where they talked about brand new iPhones with USB-C, a big win for the Android community because we made Apple bend down to their knees. Apple had to bend down on one knee and claim that the USB-C is the king, and the Androids were always right. So finally, a nice little win for the Android community. Team Google all the effing way, baby. Team Google all the effing way. I can't even see what I'm showing on the stream right now. There you go. Team Google all the effing way. And that's what I like to see. Eventually, you know, make the Apple phone more Google. So far though, coming back to Qualcomm, what are the levels that we're looking for? Possibly this gap close. You know, on negative catalyst previously, the stock pushed down, but good catalyst, the stock is pushing back up. So possible move to the gap close, possible move back to this 116, 117, especially if the market's good. Today, sadly, market red, but QCOM still green on the day. Apple coming out with their event, helping QCOM a little bit, but sadly, Apple couldn't even help themselves out today. Yikes, Apple. Yikes. So looking for this 112, 111 break for that possible move back up to 116, I guess, for the nice little gap close, and even testing the 100 period, 50 period EMA once again. These are the levels right here. That 113, actually, a nice little double top at 113. This day, we kind of rejected that. We're interested in these levels. Pretty much a nice little range over here that we're looking at, 113 to 111. I like it. Yeah, break of 113 for a move up to 116. So I'm just going to put that one. 113 for a move up to 116, or a fail break of 113 for a move back down over here. Meta, yesterday's low really helped us find a trade today on this position. So let me show you that trade. So here we go. Yesterday's low gave us a beautiful long on it, but eventually we did manage to get a little bit lower than yesterday's low right over here later on in the day. But closing right around the yesterday's low goes to show how important that level kind of is. So 301 all the way down to 300. Got to keep these levels on watch. 300 to 301 area. And any other levels to the upside kind of important on Meta platforms. I guess, you know, today's high, which we kind of basically rejected off of, or even some of these levels over here, that 300. Yeah, I guess I'm just interested to see how the stock behaves at 300. If there's no trade around 300, I'm possibly not touching this position. RTX, yeah, no trade for me unless we really go back to 74/73.30. And the stock better have some volume tomorrow. So 73.50 to 74 better have some volume and hold these levels. It's not going to be on SSR tomorrow. It's going to be off of SSR. So more of a chance for the stock to keep plummeting because of that recall on their engine. So don't fight the selling that might come in tomorrow if it does come in. If there is no selling, I want to see the stock back down to 74, back down to 73.50 before looking for any type of longs on this position. I don't think I even want to go long on the break of 76.50. Most likely looking for a reject of the 76.50 area for possible shorts back down. DocuSign, we missed the long on this. We called the long about it for yesterday. Looks like we actually didn't miss a long on it. We were glad to miss the long on it, I guess. Here was the trade right off the open. Very little volume off the open. The long did come into play. We were looking for that long right into this consolidation low. That 46.70 to 47 area did give you that long eventually. If you caught that long through 47, it went up to 48.50. So beautiful risk to reward plays being offered once again by your boy Praddy Daddy. Eventually the stock does manage to go under that area, and we might be able to get another trade off of it tomorrow. If this long shows up, we might be able to play it. But just notice how that body of that candle is. The body of that candle speaks volumes. Even though the day doesn't really speak volumes, the body of that candle speaks volumes. It's telling you that we're heading more to the downside over here on DocuSign. So get ready for possible more swings down over here. $44, $42, $40 to the downside. So $46.50 to $47 short possible trades coming in. But if buyers do come in around this area, don't fight the shorts. Get long. Enjoy the rides back up to the north side because there's a lot of room up here, back to 49, back to 50 on a swing term scale mindset too. So enjoy that longs if the longs do come in, but just how that body of that candle is, I'd be worried if I'm long at the moment for DocuSign. Christopher Davis just changed the light police. Okay, yeah, I remember you doing that. Like the company you're working for now, you're the CEO. Damn right. That's right, baby. CPI, honestly, CPU is tomorrow. Oh, CPI is tomorrow. I don't want to be in a trade on Apple. CPI is tomorrow? Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Damn, Daniel. Do I have to go to work at 8:30 tomorrow? Have to be at work for 8:30 tomorrow, man. I don't want to wake up that early. Why can't CPI be at like 9:30, guys? Can we call who does the CPI? Who reports the CPI? Like the feds? Can we call the feds and tell them to postpone the CPI print till 9:30 so I can get an extra hour of sleep? All right, CPI tomorrow. Good call out. We'll take a look at that one. Good job, Pride face, blue smiling face, blue smiling face, blue smiling face. I'm guessing they're supposed to be emojis, but they didn't show up as emojis on the chat over here. That's crazy. The market overall down, and it's hard to fight the flow. Orange face biting nails, orange face biting nails. Why isn't it showing me these emojis? That's crazy. Prad out with the inside knowledge. Already read that. I personally hope that the other company goes under. Hey, be nice, Bean. Be nice. RTX, what kind of volume are we looking for on the stock? RTX, what kind of volume are we looking for? I mean, any type of relative volume. If you have scanners like Trade Ideas, Trade Ideas shows you relative volume of stocks on their scanners. Can I pull up a scanner for you guys? I can at the moment. I don't have one ready for you. But on their scanners, they have a column over here that shows you relative volume. You'll be able to see if the relative volume is more than 1.5 to 2. That means the stock is in play. You can also calculate it yourself. Look at the average, 10-day volume, I guess, or average 3-month volume. I don't know what people usually use, but look at 1 week's volume and look at what the stock is doing volume right now. If that volume is exponentially larger than the volume that the stock has done, then clearly it's doing multiple revolutions or multiple times the volume relative scale than it usually does, so it's in play. Sadly, you won't be able to see how much volume the stock is doing in the exact minute right now compared to the exact minute over the span of the last week. That's how the relative volume is, I guess, calculated a little bit. Don't quote me on that, but that's the relative volume. It updates minute by minute on Trade Ideas. That's the advantage of Trade Ideas. So if you want to use Trade Ideas, click on the link below in the description. Use code PRAD15. Check them out. I love their software. I find trades from them all the time on that scanners. Obviously, you have to build the scanners yourself. If you need help with building scanners, I got you. We're looking for an increase on the relative volume scale. Look at the relative volume over here when the stock made that new 52-week low, and look at the relative volume today compared to all of these days. I mean, how far back are we going? We're going back all the way to July, where the last time the stock brought in that type of volume. So looking for more volume than any of these candles, if that makes any sense. Hopefully that works. Going back to our decently small watch list, which is surprisingly taking extremely long for us to go through because we are just rambling on today about nonsense. So let's go through our watch list over here. Google near the 52-week high. That level pretty damn important, 138. So keep an eye out for that 138 level to come into play. We also have been kind of bouncing right before this area of 134. If you can see how previously this 134 previous 52-week high has been a struggle, and then we managed to pop up above that 133 134 area, and now we are holding that 133 134 area for support. So looking for possible dips into that area. What is that? 133.70 133.70 to what was the next price? 134.25. So that's the range I'll be interested in seeing how the stock behaves. You can even go as low as all the way down here at 133. Honestly, I won't be surprised if the stock goes all the way down there before you see any bounce happening. So don't be surprised if you still don't see buyers coming in around this 134 price exactly. But that 138 to this 133 area, pretty damn important in my opinion. And look at this rejection of this price over here. If what is that, 131.50? Also looks pretty damn important in my opinion on Google. So Google, loving the ranges that it's in. Nice little 52-week high area. Pretty important in my opinion. You can't be ignoring stocks around these levels. Let's go to Microsoft next. Microsoft is a little bit more dull in my opinion. Yeah, it's got that same beautiful ranges. Yeah, it's in that 52-week high areas too. But I'm not looking, it doesn't show as clean to me. At the same time, if the trade shows up, we'll take advantage of it. We are seeing a little bit of a trend following right now. I guess if I can just throw a line down here, you see that trend coming in. I don't want that trend plotted though, so I'll just remove it. A nice little trend coming in where the stock is managing to ride on this trend to the upside. We are seeing a nice little resistance around 339. If we can get past 339, I'll be a little interested. So I'll just put down that number for ourselves. Amazon was pretty easy. I don't have to even think twice about this trade over here. It's only 1-and-1 level in my opinion. That's that 143.50. We were looking for that trade today. A possible break of 143.50, 143.60. So we can get longs trapped and get short and right to the downside. But sadly, that did not happen. So we had no trade to trade at all, and we stayed off. We stayed on the sidelines. Stayed on the sidelines. Did not find a trade. That's fine. Tomorrow, when that trade opportunity shows up, I'm not gonna be a water boy. I'm gonna be Tom Brady with the QB. Hut, right? So I'm gonna be out there in the field when that level actually shows up. When my setup shows up. Nvidia. Pretty solid level over here if you can take a look at that grinding, but I actually haven't been too keen on really trading Nvidia recently. I think Intel has been the much cleaner trade honestly for a day trade at the moment. No headaches with this position, no random whipsaws, no random crazy chops happening. But Nvidia is at a pretty decent level. We have multiple ranges that we are interested in around the stock. We got all the way up from 433 to 445 over here, currently holding 445 pretty strongly, 445.31 being the low of day today. So I want to see that 445 level continue to being held, that 450 punch through coming in, and then 450 holding. But just because how the stock is treating levels at the moment, it has no regard for levels. It's just like yeah, there's a level here, but we're gonna go past that level a little bit more and then come back down. It feels like there's a lot of games happening on this position. Look at this level. It feels like you should have rejected this 445, 444, but no, we're gonna go here, trap people, and then push back down. So it's like I don't want to be playing those games. I don't. I'd much rather go play a game that's easier and where I don't have to stress out about and rip my hair off. And that will be Intel for me. Intel, that 52-week high right around 40. I mean, I'll leave Nvidia on the board, obviously. Going to use it to my shuffle of stocks when I'm shuffling through my watch list, but not really too keen on trading. But Intel, this 52-week high, now a new 52-week high coming in around this $40 area. So obviously we're looking for that 40, that previous 52-week high of 38.80 up to 39, and a re-entry of that zone all the way back down to whatever these prices are, $37.70, $37. I'm just gonna put $37 because I don't want to put $37.70. I feel like that's a nothing burger level. If the Intel really wants to flush down, it can flush all the way back down over here. So looking for traps around 39 to 40 to be set up for the longs, so we can flush it to the downside, or traps to be set up around 39 and 40 for the short, so we can punch up to the north side for another run up on Intel, which has been struggling for a while now. I mean, struggle, finally pushing back up. Look where we went long Intel on our long-term portfolio. We are absolutely slam dunking this position, baby. Slam dunking Intel on the long term. Bazinga! I don't know why I said Bazinga. I thought that would be cool saying Bazinga. That did not look cool or sound cool at all. Okay. AMD, once again, I'm going to say it again and again and again and again until it gets hammered into your head. Not a stock to trade at the moment. Not fun ranges. Unless it really breaks out of this upside or this downside. Not fun ranges at all, in my opinion. Same thing with Nvidia in my basket. You know, there's other stocks in better ranges giving you better risk to reward setups, better risk management capabilities and opportunities. In that case, trade those. You're a day trader. Your job is to look for the right stocks, the right opportunities with the right amount of volume in it. AMD is not it. The relative volume today, I can tell you right off the bat by looking at this. Average 10-day volume, 52 million. Today's volume, 44 million. Right off the bat, not doing enough volume that it should be doing for a day trader. So, no watch. Moving on from AMD, let's go to Amazon. I think, did we put Amazon twice? We did put Amazon twice, so we'll remove Amazon over here. Go to the next one, Kava. No, not Kava, Carvana, CVNA. But now that we're actually going to Kava, hey, let's go to Kava. Kava finally breaking that all-time low over here. Now pushing down. Jim Cramer. You know what? I actually want to put Kava in my list. Jim Cramer. Finally, CAVA. We were pretty surprised that the stock was making this move to the north side over here the way it did. But now moving back under the IPO prices, moving back under the all-time low, making a new all-time low today. Tomorrow, we'll be interested to see if these prices come back into play somewhere around $36.45, $36.50, all the way up to $38. So I'm just going to put these prices over here, $36.50 and $38 to keep an eye out for. And the IPO low, obviously 40. We remember how important that $40 price was on the IPO day. Carvana, we keep saying how we're only interested with that 53, 54 area, and we missed out a nice little short off that breakout. Look at the trap that it's set up on the breakout of that move. 53.30 goes up to 53.75, gives you an opportunity to short exactly near that 53.30 and then dumps back down. Those are the type of shorts you don't want to miss out. The backside fail through of the punch of that pretty significant level, burning the shorts and trapping the longs and pulling all the way back down. So pretty upset with me missing that short. We've been talking about this 53 area multiple times. We even had it mapped out yesterday, I believe. Yeah, look at that. 53 to 53.30 reject / break long. So even having that mapped out on our thing, we missed out on it. So we're just gonna have to just put it back on the watch list over here, see if that level comes back into play, and just with the fact how the body of the candle looks like we're gonna have another possible reject day tomorrow if it does go back and test that level. And looks like we do have some possible buying around this 48.50 to 46 zones. 48.50 to 46 zones, so possible things over there. So we'll recorrect this real quick. We already know what we want to do, so we'll just do this 46.25 and 48.50. Now we have 3 ranges for us to take a look at for possible trades on Carvana. Awesome. Rivian. Hey, we're actually speed running through the last few stocks over here, so that's pretty good. Rivian, yeah, that level's pretty important, huh? Look at that level, 23.58. We closed exactly at 23.58. I mean, look, I did not put that line today just to show you guys and just so I could click on this emoji over here. I did not do that at all, I promise you. So it did pull back to a pretty significant price point. We did break out of that price point today, but eventually coming right back down. Looks like that 23.50 to 24 area is pretty important because the stock is looking to make a re-entry towards 25. So look out for that area, 23.50 to 24 on Rivian for a move back up to this 25.50 or so. Next stock are wheat stocks, ACB, CGC. Wheat stocks are still very much in play. CGC gave you that trap at 180 today. We traded that pretty poorly, so we're just gonna Oh, why are they like this? Let me separate these ones real quick. Tilray, we're not going to trade. You guys know that. ACB, we are going to trade. So put that one back, but fix it. And the levels over here now are 180 to 190 on CGC that we want to look out for. Ooh, my bad. Excusez-moi. 180 to 190. And on ACB, we want to look out for that $1 area. Simple $1 area. See if that support comes in. Today's low around 180, or even yesterday's high around this 93 cents or so. We'll watch out if anything happens around this. And about CGC, I just want to quickly say, look, I told you so. Right, I told you the stock could easily off the open trigger SSR and then start making that rally to the north side. Off the open, here's the close, goes down exactly 15-20% like I said it would, and then starts rallying to the north side. So amazing dip buy action coming in on CGC. Ooh, guys, I got some Bumble matches just now. I gotta go off stream. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Catch you guys later. Peace. Hold up. I'm just joking. Where's my buttons? Where's my buttons? Hello? There we go. I'm back. So CGC, once again, will be on SSR day 2 tomorrow. It is possible that because of CGC being on SSR, we could get a monster rally along with it. But if CGC sells off, you look for ACB to sell off along with it. WeWork, I'm just gonna put this on your watch list, mentioning it for you guys, but not a trade for me. It did manage to split recently and got back above being $1. Made a 86% move to the north side today with 61 million shares traded. Look at that level right there. Looks like pretty important of a price level if you ask me. Currently around $5.80 to $6 or so. So watch out for these levels to come into play on WeWork if you are trading this position. I know a couple people in the Discord chat. Razrar, he's probably not watching right now, but he trades WeWork quite a bit. So I'm just putting it on the radar for you guys. If you're interested in stocks like these, I'm personally not interested in stocks like these. Like I keep saying, there's way better stocks every single day out there. There's a million stocks out there. There's a million ways to make money. This is my way to make money. Not trying to knock your way to make money. It's just I don't trade stocks like those. Apple 176, ladies and gentlemen, once again coming back into play. Is that a trend over there that I'm noticing on Apple? Ooh, mama. So I'm just gonna put that level just real quick. It's not a strong trend. It only counts like a few days, right? It's not a strong trend by any means. I'm just gonna delete that trend now that I'm talking about it, right? Delete that trend, just move on from it. Apple has been on a monster trend for all year. Just recently in August, we kind of broke that trend and struggled a little bit. But to look at that rally back and now moving back to the downside, that whole China fear coming in, kind of hurting Apple. Apple, even with that sell-off, managing to get above 176 just goes to show how important of a level that 176 area is. So you cannot ignore it. Look for that 176 area to come back into play. On this day, Apple actually went as low as, what's that, 173.50. Today we went low as 175, 174. So clearly looks like all the way from 173.50 to 176. We kind of have to watch what Apple does. It could find support anywhere in these ranges, especially if it's flushing right off the open. If Apple's flushing right off the open, it is possible that it goes down to 173.60 and then pops right back up. So be ready for those type of crazy whipsaw actions happening if Apple does that right off the open. But if Apple is like, slowly trickles down to 176, it is possible that it shows you support later on in the day, right? As it did today. So tomorrow, there's a couple scenarios that I'm throwing out over here. If you want to, kind of take some notes, look for that dip buy to 175 off the open. Look for that dip buy to 173.55 off the open, and then the rally. But if 176 just wants to hold and the markets are gapping up to start the day, CPI is banger, CPI is actually helping out the market, then you are just simply getting long and leaning on that 176 area for a possible move back up to 180 on Apple. It is really that simple in my mind. It's not that harder than that. So dip buys anywhere in these price ranges for yourselves. Just gonna mark it up for myself over here. Dip buys in anywhere in these price ranges right off the open. If it's trickling down for the whole day, then I'm not looking for, a monster dip buy until we really push down to 173.50 or 170. I'm possibly looking for shorts off of that 176. Tesla, you guys know how bad I am with trading this position, and I probably would have been today too. I could have easily gotten trapped on the high a day area, did not push to the low a day. It did manage to bounce off of one of our support lines that comes from history. So yay. Yeah, Prastradamus strikes again, double bottom, triple bottom, level comes back into play, but the Tesla levels I'm never really too confident on. I do leave it on my watch list nevertheless, just in case there's any reason to trade the stock. If there's at any point the stock does start moving around and gives you some trades. For example, a couple days ago, yesterday actually, $25 million showed up on the bids at random points for allowing me to get long on Tesla. So when opportunities like that show up, I don't want to miss it. So I just leave it on my watch list. I just don't believe in my levels on Tesla. So I'm not going to even call any of them out for you. That's the most honest and right thing that I can do for you, right? Okay. As someone did mention that we do have CPI tomorrow. So CPI is a pretty important catalyst. Obviously, the Fed members, Papa Powell, and the FOMC committee, they look at the CPI numbers like CPI and economic data like CPI, jobless claims, and so on to see what they need to do with interest rates. Or do interest rates need to get hiked up? Do interest rates need to get cut down? How do they need to tame this beast named inflation? So we'll see what happens at 8:30 tomorrow. They're expecting 0.2 month over month and a 4.3 year over year, whereas the last one year over year was actually 4.7. So a big drop on the CPI number for the year over year. If it does drop, that's going to be drastic. I think the market will move quite a bit over there. For month over month, though, they're expecting it to be in line. They're not expecting a huge drop on the CPI number for month over month. Let's go to the other ones over here. We got another one for month over month, August 6. Why am I seeing 2 and a 6? And a 3.6 and a 4.3. Oh, that's core CPI. Okay, I'm tripping. Oh, core CPI. I didn't see that part. That makes more sense. Core CPI, and then we have CPI. Basically, some of them exclude a certain sector of the numbers, of the calculated numbers. I forget if was it retail or consumer numbers or something. I forget exactly what it is. One of them excludes one of those metrics, and the other one includes that metrics. So core CPI and actual CPI. So this one over here expected to be hotter than previously, not looking good. Also expected to be hotter than previously. So based on this, if we are looking at forecast and the actual, based on this, if the actual number comes in 0.6 or lower, markets might like that. And if it comes in 3.6 or lower, markets might like that. But if it comes in 3.6 or higher, or 0.6 or higher, markets are not going to like that, and we're going to plummet to the downside because interest rates will be having to kept being hiked. And the calculator over here for the CPI calculator, I can't see my tabs because of the webcam is hiding the tab over here. Yeah, the CPI calculator will start getting start changing a little bit based on not CPI, sorry, the interest rate calculator is still going to start changing a little bit based on that CPI number dropping tomorrow. FOMC date 20th of September. I think we have one more important catalyst before that day. I think PPI comes out also tomorrow. Yeah, PPI tomorrow. Another initial jobless claim comes out tomorrow. We got import prices. Anything important next week? Let's quickly take a look at that. Federal rate decision. Nothing else besides that. Next week, I guess, we got building permits. So yeah, pretty much PPI, CPI this week. Pretty important week coming up. And we also have the ARM IPO. And we also have quad witching. Quad witching on September 22nd, I believe. It should be on the third Friday. So first Friday? Second Friday? No, first Friday, second Friday. It should be this week, then. Mamma mia. No, it should be here, right? Does this count as First Friday, chat? I don't know. Does that count as First Friday? What day is triple witching? I need to find out what day is triple witching. If someone in the chat knows, holla at your boy. Let me know. All right, I'm pretty much done. I don't have anything else to talk about. Let's quickly go take a look at this Apple recap. They talked about the USB-C, Apple iPhone 15 Pro. They talked about the pinch filter feature that the Apple Watches have, which is pretty cool. It just means that they're looking for more ways to incorporate hand gestures and facial features and gestures for some reason. I don't know what that reason could be. Maybe it's the reason that you're strapping on a stupid helmet on your head to control. That light just got much brighter because someone used the police command, did they not? Yeah, that light got way brighter because someone used the police command. There we go. We'll control the lights real quick. Fix that up. So that helmet, the headset that you're gonna be strapping on your head, the Vision Pro, it all makes sense now. So if you, it's almost like they want to make it in that ecosystem, right? You have your watch. Your watch is now your controller for the Vision Pro. But from what I remember watching the clips for the Vision Pro, you don't even need an Apple Watch. You were already pinching and using your hand and your gestures to control things. So if you have an Apple Watch and a Vision Pro and you start using your gestures, are you automatically calling people and zooming in at the same time? I'm confused over there. So yeah, a little bit of a confusion over there to think about now that I'm actually thinking about it. But they talked about quite a bit of things. The Ultra Pro Watch 2, the new Apple Watches, how by 2024 they're going to be completely carbon neutral. All of these things are recycled, blah 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 blah. They're not going to be using a certain type of straps anymore because they were not helping them be carbon neutral. They're teaming up with Hermes to make more carbon neutral and tons of designs. They're teaming up with Nike. So tons of things have been dropped on us. Obviously, we'll see if this information and these catalysts get sucked back into the stock market and sucked back into the stocks such as Apple and Nike, Disney, Unity. Hermes is not a stock, right? So wherever the volume goes, wherever the money goes, we're just going to be following it because that's the name of the game, ladies and gentlemen. Follow the money, make the money, keep the money, and enjoy it. Enjoy it. All right. Last but not least, as we always like to wrap it up with showing you guys the way to get in touch with the one and only TraderPrad if you ever want to. All of our social media links right down below in the description. Feel free to go check them out. If you're not following us on any of the social media, especially Discord, we have a great group of people on Discord. It's an absolute free Discord, and we talk about stocks all day in there, share ideas with each other, help each other, and help each other grow. That's the point of that Discord. Absolutely free. Feel free to also go check out my Instagram, my TikTok, but 100% go follow my Twitter because that's where I'm most active on. If I'm going live on Twitch, if I'm going live on YouTube, if I'm taking a stock for a trade, if I'm not taking a stock for a trade, I call it out all on there. So go check out my Twitter. Today we actually called out a big bid on Intel. Look at that big size on Intel for the ask. That's almost 3,000 lots. That means 30,000 shares. So 3,000. Hello, what the heck is Cackle? 1861 plus 1566. That's 3,426 lots, which is 3342700. You add you times it by 100. That's how many shares that are on the ask to be sold at that $40 price. So if you do that times 40, that's almost $14 million sitting on the offer on Intel on the way up. So I'm calling out things like this for you guys live on Twitter. It's not live. It is live, but it's on Twitter. I'm even pointing out my trades for you. Sadly, my engagement rate's dropping. I don't like that. My engagement rates are dropping hard over here. I need to work on getting my engagement back up. But yeah, go check them out and hit that like on my tweets if you are checking them out. I mean, this was a monster call out. You could have gotten a short off of that level, and I keep posting my trades on there too. And this was me making fun of the Apple event. You know, if Apple with the Apple Watch now, everyone's gonna be on the public transit, and anytime you're gonna hanging out with your friend, they're just gonna be snapping fingers at each other. You're gonna think it's gonna be a little rude, but that's gonna be the way things work now. The new norm. The new norm is snapping fingers at each other. All right, go check out all of my links, my affiliate sponsors. Don't know if anyone of you is actually using them, but if you are, it means a lot to me because you are helping me put a granola bar in my stomach. So it means a lot to me. Use code PRAD15 at Trade Ideas to get 15% at checkout. TraderSync, track your performance. Without tracking your performance, you will not know how to get better. Trust me on this. You will not get better. You simply won't know where you're improving or how you're improving or how to improve. Benzinga Pro, you guys know they are the best in the game. Hello? They are the best in the game. They get me up to date with the freshest news articles as they come out. Shout out to Benzinga. Go check them out. I think Benzinga and TraderSync both give you free trials by clicking on my link. So go click on those links for me. Means a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, that is successfully an hour and 20 minutes of your time wasted. Thank you for everyone that stuck around. I see a couple of the names actually stuck around for the whole period. Dan Duval, as always. TH, as always, means a lot. My homies, the family, thank you for coming by. Thank you for supporting. You guys are the best. Disney had a good gain on their deal with Charter. That's true. I did see that Disney move yesterday, I believe, on the Charter deal. I was going to put Disney on my watch list, but I didn't. You know what? I will put Disney back on my watch list, and we will send this tweet with the notes from this stream and the morning tweet. So go check out the morning tweet if you are not going to. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, your boy TraderPrad has to go walk his dog and eat some dinner. I'm gonna go get some rest. It's gonna be an early day tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. in the morning Eastern Standard Time. We have to wake up and get to work and be ready for that CPI move. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not going to work for 8:30. I'm going to work for 9 o'clock. I don't care. I'm going to work for 9 o'clock. I'm not going to work for 8:30. That just means I have to wake up a whole hour earlier. So nope, not doing it. I'll trade the day. I'm not trading the 8:30 CPI move. It's gonna be a nothing burger anyways. But for all of you warriors out there who are able to get to your trading stations by 8:30. Please manage your risk. Have a great day. Have a great trading session. And we will see each other again at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Until then, peace out. Good night. Ciao. Love you guys. Adios.